If you have to deal with lower ticket items or services, the only way to create wealth, create what? Is to sell large volumes. Large what? What's the definition of working your buns off for nothing? Selling a $20 item to one person at a time. Or a $50 item to one person at a time. It got quiet in here again. That's the definition of sure. I even hate to say it. I mean, that is ruin. That is crazy. Insanity is a good one. Okay, selling a $20 or $50 item to one person at a time. That is working really hard for nothing. Yes or yes? So, and again, I'm generalizing here. So, unless, of course, that one person or company has the capacity to buy 10,000 units off you at a time, right? So what you want to do is if you're going to work with any lower ticket type of items, and even high ticket would be the best, you're going to find this and work with that. What's it say, please? One more time, twice as loud. High volume buyers, okay? Let me tell you a story about another one of our students. You like hearing our student stories? All right, yes or no? All right. So here's this gentleman who comes to one of our marketing programs, and he had this product. This is actually in one of my books somewhere, or on one of my tapes. He had this product called How to Paint Your House Video. To recall this story. And it was a video. It was a really good video. It's because a lot of people go in, they buy paint, they go into the store to buy paint, and they're going to paint their house or a part of it, but they don't know what they're doing, right? So it's like, what tools do you really need, and what's the thing that does the corners, and when do you use the roller, and which brushes do you need, and what's the kind of stroke that you need, and what do you have to put on the floor? All these different things that you'd never even think of until you were going to do it, and your house is a mess. You go, oh my God, I should have learned how to do this, right? Yes? So it's a how to paint. In 3 years, he might have sold a few hundred of them. He couldn't get it off the ground. He didn't know, who to sell it to, what to sell it. At the seminar, he learned about something called premiums. What's it called? Who can tell me what a premium is? It's something that when you buy something, you get this as an incentive. It's almost like a bonus. So you get it as a bonus for purchasing something else. So his bells went off. And during the break, right at the course, right after that, he called one of the largest paint manufacturers in North America, right from the course, with the idea that they could do what? Give away, what's the word? Give away the video with every purchase of 5 gallons or more. Listen to this. Right at the course, right there, right on the phone, he got an order for 100,000 units. And he came in, he was shaking. He came in a little bit late. He had to pay his $5 because he was late. And he says, sorry, I have to share what happened. Okay. And I said, are you sure? And he says, well, they're going to fax the order. I hope so. Guess what? Someone came in about an hour later with a piece of paper. There was the order right there. 100,000 units in one shot. Good or good? All right. High what? Sold to one person. He was trying to find one at a time. He'd give on consignment. Here, take 3 of them in your store for me, please, and pretty please. And oh, come on, they're gathering. Come on, ridiculous. And I'll guess that half of you are doing stuff like that all the time. Okay, waste of your time. It's called leverage. It's called what? I had another student who was an executive coach. What kind of coach? Executive coach. And she used to offer her coaching at $300 a month. She had 10 clients, not bad, decent living. Yes? She learned this lesson. She formed a coaching company. Coaching what? And she sold her services to a multinational corporation who had 70 executives in 40 cities, all by phone. And she eventually had to hire 3 more coaches to keep up. She used to earn $35,000 a year in coaching. Now she was earning $350,000 a year net in her pocket, and the value of her company was going through the roof. Good or good? How long after she first heard of it? Less than a year. Good or good? Because she got one major what? Client who could buy a lot. One of the more successful authors in the world you probably never heard of. His name is Price Pritchard. He wrote a book called U Squared, another one called Uncommon Sense. Both are primarily about change in the corporate world, okay? Change in business, change in the world. He sells hundreds of thousands. How many? Hundreds of thousands of books a year, and from there sells his speaking engagements, to which he can't keep up with all of them, so he has to have like 40 different associates to handle the overflow. You know what's interesting? He doesn't sell any books, not one book, through a bookstore or Amazon or anywhere. The only way you can get them is he sells them directly to large corporations, the biggest in the world, and gives quantity discounts starting at 2,000 units. Get it? His sales are, his price list goes anywhere from ordering 2,000 to 500,000 books. All right? And his average sale is between 10 and 15,000 books per order. You think this guy's crying? Guy is rich. Really rich. Because what does he do? He has what? High volume buyers. And you know the coolest thing? Is since he has clients that buy like 50, 100,000 books at once, and the books are only 20 to 30 pages each. What does he do every time he takes a vacation? I think I'll write another book in my beach chair here for half an hour. Puts it out there, another 20 mil comes in. Good or good? In short, if you can get a Home Depot or a Walmart or a Price Club or a GM or a Nextel to buy your product and resell it or use it, there's a good chance you're going to get what? Rich. If you can get your product on high-volume channels like Home Shopping Network or QVC, and you do fairly well, there's a good chance you're going to get what? Say, I can do this. I'm going to start thinking this way. Very good. All right. Who could purchase a large amount of my product or service at once or over time? It could be corporations, could be organizations, could be government. Who could purchase a large amount of my product or services at once or over time? And don't get into, but I can't provide that much because you're in a service business. You will probably have to what? Hire a group of people to fulfill what you do. Yes or yes? Remember, where's the money? In the doing or in the selling? Where's the money? Doing or selling? You sell it, get somebody else to do it. You can make a fortune rubbing hands. Well, I may be exaggerating a little bit. Well, you could if you marketed and packaged it right. You know, this is the vibratory level of the universe. Da, 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 da. Every one of them is a $20 bill. There we go. 7 rubs is $7,000. Only the high end, right? Madonna will have her hands rubbed by you. Then you use Madonna, right? Can I rub your hands? Okay. We rub Madonna's hands. Wonderful. Okay. Who could purchase a large amount of my product or services at once? Doesn't mean who's going to. It's who could. Who is doing it from somebody else already? Who's doing consulting services that are buying hundreds of thousands of dollars of consulting services right now? I'll give you an example, one more example of another one of our students. Learned this lesson, again, high volume, big ticket, whatever. He, a carpenter, sole proprietor, one-man show, high-end carpenter, but he was a wizard. He could kind of create out of wood and even plastics pretty well anything you needed, things that didn't even exist yet. Learned this lesson, calls me up 3 weeks later. He says, guess who I landed as a client? I said, who? He goes, have you ever heard of Paramount Pictures? I said, yeah. He said, guess what? I was, after your course, instead of going in there and pleading with them to get a carpenter job, I sold them on the idea of me taking the entire contract for all their movies. I'm in the process right now. I hired an HR person as my partner. We're looking for 67 carpenters just for Paramount. He said, next week, I have an appointment with Universal. I said, wow. He says, you know what? I'm not doing much hammering lately. Good or good? See, that's why it can work for anybody. Think bigger. People who buy big numbers. Okay. And please stand up for the declaration. Thank you. Stand up. Good work. Hands on your heart. I deal with high volume buyers. Again. Again. Turn to somebody, give him a high five and say, you have a Guerilla business mind.